Jorge Marlo, Gutierrez. In this video, I'm going to explain you, clarify you about my proposal, my organization to other nation. So, as a nation's government accepted my proposal and the people that affected to it, maybe you are having difficulty understanding about my proposal to other nation. So in this video, I created this video. Maybe it will help you understand somehow my proposal to your nations. So as a proposer of two main projects, the Controlism Society that proposed to be a world state and nation society in the world, and his organization and project, and the Gutierrez Empire that proposed to be a world state and nation empire kingdom in the world. To those do not have yet. So let me start on the Controlism Society. So Controlism Society proposed to be a world state and nation society in the world. So why it became a world state and nation society? So just as I explained on the other video, on my previous video, on the Controlism video, the idea of world state and nation society began in the philosophy by following the philosophy of Controlism Society and doctrine. So since Controlism Society, I study and discover is a nature of society in the world, the nature of the humanity. We're talking about all the people in the world, since we are having the same nature. We discover the nature of Controlism in ourselves and thyself. So that is the idea became the world state and nation society politically. So as I process the law, since I'm making it happen, so I'm establishing it in my nation, so I process the law and I propose it in the law as nation, national, and state society in the Philippines, and world state and nation society in the world. In our nation, they are having a difficulty of approving the law because maybe we have to cooperate, we have to make the other nations approve it as a world state and nation society before it happened. So in order that to fulfill that and to make it happen, I propose the Controlism Society to every nations in the world and his law. It's the same. In our nations, it proposed to be a nation and state society. In other nation, it is state and nation society. It is a nation and state society. In other nation, it's a nation and state society. And if it will be given a chance to be approved in all nations, it became a world state and nation society. And then later it became national society proposal. So that is the reason why I propose the Controlism Society in every nations in the world to make it happen, to become a world state and nation society in the world, to be approved as a world state and nation society in the world. It is in the law, and the law is to be revised and finalized. So as for now, I am focusing on revising and finalizing the Controlism Republic Act law in our nations, and then I follow and I will revise the proposal of the law to other nations. So that is the reason why there is a proposal of world state and nation society in every nations in the world. So as a nations and government, how were you going to approve it? I'm not, as for me, I propose it. I'm just clarifying this one, that I propose it politically. Because my rights is limited only. Since our nations or each nation have their own independent government with rights. And we have having an understanding politically. So it will be proposed as a political understanding between each nations in the world. Politically understand of having a law of national and state society of their own. A one national society. That is the problem, because as I have known, we have an independent or not the same national title. But today we are declaring the same national title in the world. In each nations in the world. So that is why it proposed the law to every nation in the world to have our one world society, which is the contrarian society, the nature of all. Because here the Filipino are contrarian. They have their nature of contrarian. The American, the Chinese, the Russian, the Indian, the English, the Germans, and the other people. They have their nature of contrarianism in themselves. If they approve the contrarian society or the nations and state society, then we can have one world society and understanding under that. Because society considered to be the fundamental of all. The beginning, the starting of things also start in society. If we can have one society, we can have one world understanding each other. That will be the purpose, one of the good purpose of the contrarian society, to have a one world understanding and the government. So the purpose of one world society is one world government. The other one world, we have lots of world government, but we also recommended this world government under by the contrarian society. So that is it. And then one religious belief, which is the unity of gods. So that is the reason why there is a proposal of a contrarian society law in every nations in the world. And then how the nation's government accept and approve it. So as I have explained earlier, that it is proposed politically. As long the nations approve it, they have the rights to control and have it as of their own society. That's their rights. That's the rights of the citizens and the government of nations. If they approve the contrarian society as their national and state society, that society, since there are that their nations, then they have the rights to control. Since it is politically, maybe because of that understanding, maybe my organizations in the Philippines and our government, the Philippine government, have an understanding of some understanding about political. So as long as the nations and the people accepted it, then and approved the law. Because after that is we are having a world, state, and nation society, one government. So that is the if you are having a difficulty or understanding that maybe I am exercising conducting dominion or some whatever you call that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm having this understanding politically and proposing to every nations in the world. Like in the American people are very honorable, some most honorable, influencing. If they have to carry the contributivism belief of their own, they may help it. It may help them more of what they are controlling, influential, Russian, Chinese. So that is the reason why there is a proposal of a world state and nation society, and how the government and people accept it. So and what will happen here that is, as a proposer, my rights here is limited. It's limited only under by our nation's governments and territory. In other nations, it will be accepted as their own society. So that what will be happen in this if they accept it. As long as it became a national society of their own, and they will have cooperate in a one world society government. So that is it. So, and his organization, and after that is including the proposal of the law, is we are having a one world government under this. Supposed to be under this society, but since we are merging in the existing government, if this is government proposal will be approved first, then and it is be better and important and useful to our world and government and the people, then it's okay. I'm okay with that. We will follow later, as I explained in my previous post. So we are having a one world government. That's why the center organization here is the World Nation Organization, who proposed to be an earth government administration and constitution, and his constitution. So for more explanation about World Nation Organization, I already created the video explanation about it. So that is why we are. So let's back to the world government. So that is why we have a world government. So what will happen here? These nations approve the controlling society of their own rights, or nations society and their own rights of it, and cooperate in a one world society and establish and have this earth government in the world. There will be an understanding in all of us under the one world government. Politically. So we can have peace in each other. So that is why there is a one world government. And then the one world organizations, other organizations, medical, intelligence, that is covered there in the explanation of the World Nation Organization. So, and his project, the Gutierrez government, is the same. It also proposed politically to the other nations, if they approve it and get it, they like it, then it is straightened their currency and used as the governments of their own currency to every nations. It's a law. Then that's their rights to control and own it. And for the Philippine government and for me, maybe there are some of the honorary or understanding that will happen if that will be given a chance. And the Jumago Crasi government proposed to be one of the criminal law of their nations, not for the mafia, and then for the crime syndicates organization. Since the Jumago Crasi government is the administration under control, monitored by the government, an administration run by mafia or crime syndicates, either of that, by the government control, then it will be helpful to their nations. If the mafia doesn't exist in their nations, then probably the crime organized syndicates. That law will be used and helpful, useful of their nation's government. And because of that law, we're having one world understanding when it comes to criminals, control of criminals, under by Jumago Crasi government, world state or nations, mafia or syndicates, governments, or criminal law, and the Gutierrez government having control, understanding on money. Because if this law will be approved, it will go into international. And if the other nation cannot accept it, then this law will remain in their nation. But if all nations approve it, having a one world society, having a national society, controlism nature, controlling in each other by what they are, having a government and run by their currency, having a criminal law of their nations, we can have one understanding also in this, and it merged to the government as a law. So that is why if they have to get it, then they have the rights to control it as their own law. Because that's their nations, that's their people, that is law, that's their government. Maybe we have some understanding that will be agreed by the Philippines as a proposer of this law. So, and then the GAON, or the Government Association of Nations, just the same, and the Controller of Position Program. Controller of Position programs that making the controlism society unite in the positions of in the government, leaders in the government, in the regions. Just the same is their in their nation's rights and the people in the government rights. It is proposed to be and accepted to be politically. If this will going to be approved, then my rights is limited only to my nation's control. But I cannot fully control the controlism society in other nations. I cannot fully control the Gutierrez classy government control of money of their nations. Maybe in the understanding I've been an honorary, but I cannot fully because I am not a citizen. I do not live in the other nations. So that's depends on their nations if they are going to approve it. Who is the controller? Their nation's people. Who is the bearer? Their nation's people and the government on this one. As for me, is the overall understanding of our nation of having a one world government society and government run by currency of nations and one of the government criminal law, the Jumal Classic government, and his project, which is the World Nation Organization, the international currency, the reserve currency for the Gutierrez Classic government. So that is the reason. If you are having a difficulty on understanding why, so that is my rights is limited only under to my nations only, but I have no fully control of that if they approve it to their nations. That's the rights of the people to control, have it, carry it, take control. So that is for the controlism society. And for the Gutierrez Empire, they proposed to be a world state and nation empire. It's just the same. It proposed politically. So why it became a world state and nation empire kingdom? So since I'm making it right, the foundation of the idea of the Gutierrez Empire start on my family name, Gutierrez. Means he who ruled. And making it right to make it happen and the government to rule in the right. So most of the people is they don't mostly acknowledge a ruler in not in the right place. So as I am thinking that in order my rights to be acknowledged, I have to cooperate, have understanding, merge in the government. So I propose the Gutierrez Empire, since monarch government based on family. So as I explained on the Gutierrez Empire proposal video explanation. So since this is making right of the Gutierrez Empire, so I propose it to politically. So I'm helping also the other Gutierrez family name bearer, other nations in the world. So there are two ways of proposal to other nations in the world. Why? And it became a world state, a nation, empire, and kingdom. To those do not have yet. First, it is a political and to help the other Gutierrez family name to make it right, to carry their rights and their nations. So since I propose it politically, I propose the law to every nations in the world, recommended by their nation's president first. As long as what is important in the law, that the government, if it's given approved, will give rights to the Gutierrez family name bearer of their nation. So that's why I asks the government to inform whoever Gutierrez family name bearer and the world to know about the proposal so they know and they can reason the rights in it, support it maybe. So I recommend it since this is a political, so I recommend first the president who carry the government present that time since it's politically. And then if not, because if this is a political proposal then that depends on the nations who will carry it. They approve the president, then approve the president. If they choose the Gutierrez family name, then I recommend it as a second proposal to be their emperor king of their nation. They choose who the Gutierrez family name bearer that deserve their respect and rights to carry it in their nations. Since it is the same Gutierrez empire monarch and his law proposed as a limited only. It's just the same. What they're proposing in my nations, the Philippines, is the same. They propose to it's the same proposal to their nations or other nations and merge in the government and have this legislative, executive, and the judiciary military administration. If one nation, if I'm just want to clarify that it's just the same on my proposal to the country, say my rights here is limited. As long the nation's people, country accept the Gutierrez Empire as their national empire, and they approve my recommended president, so president or the Gutierrez, it's their rights to control and own it. All we have to do is have understanding of having a one world monarchy or Gutierrez Empire monarchy in the world, under by the high monarch, as I explained. That is why we're having a one world state, a nation, empire, kingdom, government in the world. This is to govern the lesser empire, lesser kingdom, under by the high monarch exists today. Kingdom of Mary, Kingdom of United Kingdom, Kingdom of Spain, and the existing kingdom. They control the law of it, high monarch. So since every nation having an independent government, so I propose also to have their independent monarch government under by and given by the high monarch. So that is why I am proposing to the United Kingdom Queen to be given a chance that it will be given to their nations, have their independent monarch to the kingdom of Spain, but I just proposed it online first. So that is the reason why. But let me clarify you, the proposal of having a Gutierrez Empire to propose as their nation and state empire is to those do not have yet an empire. For the Japan, I propose it just in case if it's needed. But I am asking for the Japan government to hold it if it is not given a chance. But if it given a chance, it's still the emperor who will bear it, recommended to be the emperor of their nations, to connect of having a world state and nation empire. I just propose it if it needs to, say if not then just please hold it, because I don't want any of problems or conflicts. So since empire, most empire today is not used, so I'm reopening it, but under in the Gutierrez Empire. So what I am explaining in my information at www.gutierrezempire.wordpress.com or gutierrezempire.website2.me is true. I proposed it online, but I'm just clarifying. I'm just confirming if the received it. But to those who have read it, please inform the government. So that is the reason of the proposal of the Gutierrez Empire. So it proposed, so let me clarify you, it proposed as a world state, a nation, empire, kingdom. Start on my family name. So since I'm not only the person carry it, and there are maybe other person in the United States, like America, the other nation, so it will help them make more rights. You have to connect. All you have to do is to accept it, reason out of it, bear it. And then it also proposed as a political, if the nations do not have Gutierrez, then still me propose politically as a national empire, in order that nation's monarchy, and thereby whoever appointed by the government to rule as a monarch family under the government will cooperate in our world, state, and nation, empire, kingdom, monarchy, government in the world, under by the constitution of our government proposed. So that is it. If you have having difficulty of understanding about the proposal, so my rights is limited. I cannot fully control the Gutierrez Empire, another nation, if they approve it. I will be maybe just an honorary person of it. That's the one, that's the government, that's the ruler, the appointed emperor, king of the Gutierrez Empire, Caribbean Empire, that have the rights and full control of their nation's empire. All I have to do is the same of the controlling state to be approved it as their nation, national and state empire. So that's it. So my rights limited only in our nations and governments. So that is why the proposal is. So if you have any question, you can contact me, email me, and my contact information is in my website. So this is my, let me clarify you, this is only my personal suggestion or explanation of my own personal, but since my organization, the Controlling Society, proposed to be a national and state society under in the government, the Gutierrez Empire supposed to carry the Philippine government, Philippine Empire under by the government. The government has the rights in it also. So I have also to cooperate on what the government decide on this one. But this is just for my personal, if you needed my opinion on how I'm proposing it to the other nations. So as long as I've been honored to other nations as a honorary world emperor, honorary world controller, but honorary, unlimited only, not fully. That's what's important for the Gutierrez Empire and Controlling Society proposal internationally. And for the others, like holy law, it's the same. It will be under by the rights of the controller of their nations and the government association of nations. It will be undered by the rights of their nation. As long as after that, all, if they approve it, we having an understanding in one government association, nations in the world government. So in this we are having a center world mean organization like the Gutierrez Empire in the world, and then to other nations. That will happen if you have any difficulty understanding in my proposal. So for the Go-Gobchi proposed to be a government game, so that's why you are wondering why I propose the government to every nation's why I propose the game to every nation's government. So the Go-Gobchi idea is the world government chess. So it means that it proposed to every nation's government to become the nation government board game. If the nation's government approved, then it will fulfill what the idea and philosophy of the board game as a world government board game. So my understanding and I propose that I will be the one to sell it worldwide and to be respected under nations, to cooperate under business, having a business partner maybe. And then the government, it's up to the government to control the game. If they control it, that's their rights, because they are the government of their nations. To all my proposal to the government of each nation, that's your rights to have it as of their own, because that is your that is the government. I'm not occupying something or having exercising dominion to the nations. Just making understanding. So what's important is after all of this is we are having a one world understanding of that under by one world government, one world society, one world monarchy, one world game for Go-Gobchi. So that is proposed politically for me and politically. So that's why it's not only me, the basis of making the decision here. We have also our government to decide also. So I hope this will make you understand or clear something about having this. Maybe you're having a difficulty of understanding about my proposal to other nations. So thank you very much. Until next video.